your person finds themselves in a state of shock, deep, undeniable, and soul-stirring. For so long, they've lived behind a carefully crafted mask, relying on mind games, manipulation, and emotional detachment to maintain control in their relationships. This strategy has always worked until they met you. With others, they could predict the responses, steer the emotions, and avoid vulnerability. But with you, everything changed. The usual games didn't work. The walls they had so carefully built began to crumble, not because you tore them down, but because your presence made those walls feel unnecessary. From the very beginning, you approached them with kindness, sincerity, and warmth. There was no hidden agenda, no attempts to manipulate or impress. You were simply yourself, genuine, open-hearted, and fearlessly authentic. At first, they misjudged you. They assumed, wrongly, that you were like the others they had encountered in the past, women who were drawn to the surface-level charm, intrigued by friendship, or motivated by something superficial. This assumption led them to hold back emotionally, to protect themselves from the possibility of being hurt. Even though they had already started falling in love with you, they didn't allow themselves to fully feel it. They tried to stay guarded, convinced that you couldn't be different, that no one ever truly was. But you proved them wrong, again and again. With every interaction, you revealed more of your true self, unapologetically honest, emotionally available, and unafraid to be vulnerable. You didn't shy away from expressing your feelings. You didn't play games to provoke reactions. Instead, you stood in your truth, showed compassion, and continued to offer them space to be real. This consistency confused them at first. Then it humbled them. And finally, it transformed them. Your unwavering honesty had a powerful impact. It challenged everything they thought they knew about love, connection, and emotional intimacy. You didn't just touch their heart, you awakened something dormant within them. For the first time, they began to question their old ways. They started to see how empty and exhausting their manipulative patterns truly were. In contrast, your grace, loyalty, and authenticity lit a path they didn't know they were searching for. They saw in you a woman who was unlike anyone they had ever met, someone who wasn't trying to control the outcome, but rather, someone who showed up with a full heart and clear intentions. You became their mirror. Through you, they were able to see their own emotional limitations and begin the process of healing. They realized how much they had been avoiding love, even when it was right in front of them. And through this realization, they began to grow. Slowly but surely, their minds started to shift. They no longer saw love as something to be controlled or feared, but as something to be embraced. You didn't just change their thoughts, you changed their heart. You expanded their perspective, not by force, but by example. Your person now recognizes how deeply you have influenced their personal evolution. They feel they've matured emotionally, mentally, and even spiritually, all because of the space your love held for them. They are no longer the person they were when you first met. They've become more self-aware, more compassionate, and more aligned with their true self. And they know, without a doubt, that it's because of you. Now, they want to come forward. Not with pretense, not with caution, but with full honesty and transparency. They want to express the depth of their love for you, the way you've shifted their world, and the gratitude they carry in their heart. They are ready to return, not as someone unsure or emotionally unavailable, but as someone who is prepared to love you fully, without holding anything back. Their heart chakra has opened, and with it has come a wave of overwhelming emotions, love, passion, vulnerability, and a strong desire for union. For so long, they suppressed these feelings, afraid to let them rise. But now, they can't ignore them. Their emotions are surfacing, stronger than ever, and for the first time, they don't want to silence them. They want to feel everything. They want to give everything. They no longer see love as a battlefield or a power game. They see it as a sacred bond, and they believe you are the one who showed them that truth. There is no more hiding behind fear or manipulation. They are ready to step into the light, guided by the love they feel for you, and determined to honor it with every fiber of their being. This transformation didn't happen overnight, but it happened because of you. You've not only impacted their life, you've changed it. And now, they're ready to show you just how much you mean to them, with words, with actions, and with a heart that is finally, fully open. I want to open up and share something that's been sitting heavily on my heart for a long time. Looking back, I realize now that I never truly understood what unconditional love meant. I used to think it was just a beautiful phrase people used, something poetic, but not grounded in reality. To me, it was a concept, not an experience. I didn't believe anyone could love without expectations or without needing something in return. It sounded too idealistic, too far removed from what I had seen or known. But the truth is, I was wrong. I didn't know then what I know now, and I see things so differently today. When you confessed your feelings to me, when you laid your heart bare in front of me, I didn't respond the way I should have. Instead of being grateful or open, I walked away. I turned my back on you at the very moment you were most vulnerable. I didn't even try to understand how much courage it must have taken for you to be that honest, that raw, and that exposed. And now, when I think about it, I can only imagine the pain you must have felt in that moment, offering something so pure, only to be met with silence and distance. That must have hurt in ways I can't even fully grasp. Today, I understand that kind of pain a little better, because the silence I'm facing now echoes the silence I gave you then. When you stopped reaching out, when your presence faded, when you stopped saying the things I had grown used to hearing from you, I began to feel the weight of what I had done. I started to see how deeply I had hurt you by blocking you out and ghosting you, by cutting you off without a word or an explanation. At the time, I thought I was protecting myself, maybe even protecting you. But in reality, I was just avoiding what I wasn't ready to face. I was immature, emotionally closed off, and too caught up in my own fears and pride to see what was right in front of me. I want you to know now, from the deepest part of my heart, that everything I did back then had nothing to do with you. You were not the problem. You weren't lacking in anything. There was nothing you did wrong. In fact, you were everything I wasn't. You were open, sincere, loyal, and brave. You had the strength to feel deeply and to express those feelings honestly. That takes a kind of emotional maturity that I simply didn't have at the time. I couldn't meet you at the level you were on, and I didn't know how to handle the kind of love you were offering. I wasn't ready, not emotionally, not mentally, and definitely not spiritually. To be honest, I wasn't worthy of your love. I say that not to fish for pity, but because I see clearly now how selfish and arrogant I was. I thought I had it all figured out. I thought I knew what I wanted and what I didn't. But the truth is, I was so wrapped up in myself, in my own walls and ego, that I couldn't see the value of what was being offered to me. I didn't take the time to understand the depth of your words, the meaning behind your loyalty, or the quiet power of your honesty. I dismissed things that should have mattered. I pushed away something that was real and rare, and in doing so, I hurt not just you, but also myself. Now that you're silent, now that you've withdrawn the energy and love you once gave so freely, I understand the cost of my actions. I understand the emptiness that comes from losing someone who once made the effort to care. It's strange how we sometimes need the absence of something to finally appreciate its presence. Your silence has been one of my greatest teachers. It showed me not only how you must have felt, but also who I was in that moment. And I didn't like what I saw. I don't know if I'll ever get the chance to make it up to you, or if you even want to hear these words anymore. But I needed to say them, not to clear my conscience, but to honor what you once offered me. You gave me something real, and I failed to recognize it. And while I can't go back and undo what I did, I can learn from it. I can grow from it. I can promise to never make someone feel the way I made you feel. You taught me what unconditional love truly is, not through words, but through your actions, your patience, your vulnerability. So thank you. Thank you for loving me when I didn't deserve it. Thank you for showing me what real love looks like. I'm sorry I didn't see it then. But I see it now. And even if it's too late, I hope you find the love you gave so freely, because you truly deserve it. You have unknowingly triggered a powerful and life-altering spiritual awakening in this person's life. Through your presence, energy, and love, you stirred something deep within them that they didn't even know existed. This transformation wasn't just emotional or romantic, it touched their soul. As a result, they now see the world, and especially you, through entirely new eyes. They can no longer deny the depth of their feelings. You are the only one they see. You've become their focal point, and their heart is set on building a future with you. Their thoughts are consumed with commitment, love, and marriage. This isn't a fleeting emotion, it's a grounded decision from someone who has grown and changed. This individual embodies the emperor archetype, someone who is strong, structured, and capable of taking charge, but what stands out now more than anything is their unwavering loyalty to you. They've gone through a deep period of reflection and realization. In that process, they've come face to face with the pain they caused by blocking you out, pushing you away, or blaming you for things that were never your fault. They see it now. They see how their own fears, pride, or unresolved wounds led them to behave in ways that damaged the connection you once shared. And they regret it deeply. The remorse they carry is heavy, but it's also motivating them to make things right. There were so many unspoken words between you, so many emotions left unexpressed. These thoughts and feelings have lingered in the silence, but that silence is breaking. The truths that were once buried, whether out of fear, pride, or confusion, are rising to the surface. You will soon hear the things you always needed to hear, the apology, the explanation, the vulnerability. The things left unsaid will finally be spoken, bringing healing and clarity to both of you. This person is now determined, truly and wholeheartedly, to be with you. Their heart, mind, and soul are aligned with this purpose. It's not just about attraction or chemistry anymore. It's about knowing, deep down, that you are their person. And what's drawing them back isn't desperation or loneliness, it's your energy. Your independence, your balance, your strength, these qualities make you magnetic. You've become even more attractive in their eyes because you've continued to grow and evolve, with or without them. That quiet confidence, the way you hold yourself together, the peace you've created within, those are the very things pulling them back toward you. Whether you realize it or not, you made this person fall in love with you in a way that changed their entire way of thinking. You shifted their perspective, not just on love, but on life itself. The connection they feel with you isn't something they can explain away. It's spiritual. It's soulful. They feel tethered to you in a way that defies logic and surpasses ordinary emotion. You awaken something divine in them, and that connection now drives their every thought and action. But it wasn't always this way. They took your trust for granted when they had it. They didn't value your loyalty, your effort, or the unconditional love you offered so freely. And now, they're facing the consequences of that choice. The loneliness they feel is overwhelming. No one else can fill the space you once occupied. They are sitting with that emptiness, realizing the gravity of what they've lost. This sadness isn't just surface level, it's a deep ache that follows them wherever they go. And now, the universe is stepping in to restore balance. They are being spiritually and emotionally called to repay what was taken, whether that was your time, your peace, your energy, or your love. Karma has come to collect, and your partner is being forced to confront their actions. The pain they caused is now being mirrored back to them. But this isn't punishment, it's a path to redemption. It's an opportunity for them to grow, to evolve, and to rise to the level of love you always gave so freely. You may not have seen the full impact you've had on this person's life, but know this, you are a catalyst for their transformation. Your love wasn't in vain. Your patience, your strength, and even your absence taught them the most valuable lessons they've ever had to learn. And now, as they awaken to those truths, they're coming back, not just to seek forgiveness, but to offer a love that's finally worthy of you.